talk about mole-bile voice. So go ahead. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, David. All right, hi everybody. We are Mobile Voice. I'm Wen Chen, and this is P Tan. Our awesome advisor is John Tron, sitting among us. So we're almost done with our final project, our master's, and this is our final project. We did a lot of work in it. Now we're excited to show you the results. Now let's begin. So, visual disabilities is more prevalent among us than you might think. In the United States, for example, among the whole population, 2.4% has visual disabilities. And when you get older, this number increases. For people 65 years or older, almost 7% of them, or us, have visual disabilities. The advent of smartphone has really helped blind users. And some people claim it's the greatest assistive technology since Braille. Here are some assistive smartphone technologies that we have observed blind users use during our research. You can see there are ones that help guide users through the street. There are things that help them tell objects and paper money value apart. And there are online shopping tools that save them a trip to a mall. However, how do you use the phone without seeing the screen? That was the question that we had when we started this journey. We decided to interview some blind users to see what they would say. We ended up recruiting 11 users with different levels of familiarity with technology, and they use different phones, different ages, mostly older. And from talking to them, we learned that all of the smartphone users currently use this technology called VoiceOver, or in the Android equivalent, TalkBack, to help them navigate. So how the VoiceOver works, I can just show you really quick, is you can, for example, for an iPhone, when you turn it on, it's like a screen reader. If you swipe left and right, it reads different visual elements on the screen for you. And when you see a button or something that you want to click, you can double tap and that clicks it for you. So that's a quick overview of VoiceOver. Just turn it off. So based on the blind community's familiarity with the VoiceOver technology, we were able to divide the users into 4 groups: regular, advanced, novice, and non-VoiceOver users. And through our observation, 3 of the 4 groups currently experience different levels of difficulties when they use the VoiceOver technology. Here is an example of a regular user that we observed who showed us how should we use the Wordbiz iPhone app to check out airline booking information. And we got her permission to show a short video.
All right, let's get a flight station. Let's see if we can make this work. Let's go somewhere else. Where do you want to go? London.
So she went on for another minute, trying to figure out how to select the airport that she wanted. Okay. Now, back to the presentation. Okay. So in summary, we noticed the 4 challenges that these 3 user groups face when they use the current voiceover technology. First is it takes time to understand the conceptual model of how voiceover works when you don't see the screen. And second, it's hard to memorize all the gesture controls, especially when you get older, memory may not be as good. And third, it takes time to figure out the visual UI layout of a new application if you haven't used it before. And finally, if you want to make it quicker, you have to memorize the locations of all these ever-changing buttons in order to access it without fishing for it. So the overall conclusion that we got from this user research phase is for non-advanced voiceover users, voiceover can be challenging to learn, and once the user has learned it, it's hard to operate it fast. And that inspired us to think, how might we design an alternative navigation method for blind smartphone users that they can try when voiceover does not suit their needs? So we moved on to the design phase. We first created a persona for each of our 3 target user groups. And while we were thinking about a solution, we thought back at a comment made by the user who we observed using the Wordis app. She said, what would be really nice is if I can open this app and it will ask me destination. And I would say London Heathrow Airport. And it would ask departure, and I would say Oakland, rather than sort of having to poke around. And when we reread this quote from her, that reminded us, oh, this sounds like the directed voice interaction that you would use on the dial-up phone. Is there a way that we can create a voice user interface on the smartphone where blind users feel like they're talking to somebody over the phone through voice, but at the same time, they can leverage all of these powerful additional features that they can only do on a smartphone, given features like GPS or sensors or cameras. So how do we combine the best of both worlds? We evaluated some current voice technologies, and we found Siri and Google Now, their system-level navigation, they don't go into the app level. And Amazon Echo is stationary, not mobile. Guided dictation is only for adding text. So none of these technologies really suit our need. So we decided, okay, let's make our own applications and test them out. We picked this taxi app Uber and a flight booking app Orbitz as our apps to voicify, partially because we actually observed the blind users using these apps currently, and partially because they pose some interesting UI challenges for us. So we went through 5 iterations to design the voice Uber app using think aloud user testing, heuristic evaluation, improving along the way. We did 2 iterations for Orbitz, mostly focusing on the interaction of helping users select a flight among a list of potential flights. And now let's just, to give you a feel of what the actual functional prototype looks like, we're going to demonstrate the voice Uber app. So the entire screen is just a button, and if you press on it, you can start talking to it. Open Uber.
Welcome to Uber. You can request a ride by saying, "Send me a ride."
Send me a ride.
Cool. What's your current location?
1234 Bancroft Way.
Is your current location 1234 Bancroft Way?
Yes.
Got it. There is a Uber 9 minutes away. Now, say your destination or say, skip, to tell the driver later.
123 Shattuck Avenue.
Is your destination 123 Shattuck Avenue?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, processing your request. This may take up to a minute. Your driver Hassan is arriving in 8 minutes. Do you want to hear more details?
Yes.
Vehicle is a silver Honda Accord. License plate is XYZ123. Driver rating is 4.2 stars. You can hear your ride's updates at any time by saying, Uber updates.
So after a couple minutes, I wonder where my ride is. updates.
Your driver is 3 minutes away.
Okay, and you can keep asking the update until the ride arrives. So that's a short demo. After we have the final design, we went on to evaluate it. We recruited 5 users, 1 novice, 2 non-users, and 2 advanced users. The advanced users, we're using them as proxy users, as they don't exactly fit our user group, but based on due to our recruiting constraints, we have to do what the users that we can get. We tested the VoiceOver app using the without-mouse testing method because we added a few interactions that our current functional prototype could accommodate at that point. There are 4 tasks that we tested. Specify a pickup location, select your driver, select the driver with voice UI, and select driver with gesture control, and ask you to check your ride updates. 2 and 3 are proxies to the Orbis flight selection interaction. Because our users' time was limited, we could only test 1 app. We kind of combined the 2 apps to test all the key interactions that we needed. And the results were test 1 and 4, all users were able to complete it, and for 2 and 3, 4 out of 5 were able to finish it. And here are also some general feedback that we got from the users through our design and testing process. A regular user said she absolutely loved the VoiceOver application. The novice and 2 non-users said that they preferred browsing through Uber drivers using the voice control over the gesture control, and their reason was the voice control was more intuitive for them. However, we also received some critical feedback from our proxy advanced users. They had concerns that VoiceOver may be hard to use in a noisy environment. Dictation is sometimes error-prone. And they also suggest maybe we can combine VoiceOver with Voice UI so that people have more choices. Based on all this work, we felt that Voice UI as a new technology still has a lot of work to do, but it does hold the promise of becoming an alternative to the current VoiceOver method for blind users. And we want to encourage more designers and engineers to start experimenting, just playing around with Voice UI to see what you can get. And together we'll be able to work out these usability kinks that we currently can't and make it a better experience. And with that, I hand over to
Yeah. So we encourage people to develop UI within the usable development flow is important. Through our technology research, we find 2 good UI dev tools. The first one is Amazon Alexa. The other one is API.ai. For Amazon Alexa, when using it, the first thing is they don't have the concept of conversation. So we can only build those intents by remembering the format of the intents and then manually put those things in the text box. It's not usable. And as for API.ai, they do have a concept of conversation. However, you still have to go back and forth between the list of intents and the place where you added it. So you won't be able to get an overview of the conversation flow. But however, we think API.ai is a more powerful API, so we choose to use it as our backend API provider to build our website. Currently, designers can design the conversation flow on paper or using a diagramming tool, and then they can test it using they can only test it using Wizard of Oz testing method. After that, developer can code the conversation logic and the front-end product based on design. Right now, with our SDK or we say website, designers can design a graphical conversation flow on our website, and then they can create a hi-fi functional prototype with the conversation logic in it. In that case, developers no longer need to code the conversation logic. They can focus the time on creating a more powerful front-end product. So as we promised before, now we're gonna create a voice and adventure game. Yeah.
Yay!
Okay, let me do that.
So just in case it wasn't clear, in addition to making the 2 voice UI apps, we also developed a developer tool for people who want to make these new apps themselves. So now we're showing the developer tool.
Yeah. Okay, so like right now we can create.
So this is our console. It's
Yeah.
It's a website.
So now we can create a user access to trigger the conversation. So let's say I want to open a treasure box.
Okay.
And then the system can respond with, when you create a response, response. And then the system can say, okay, brave soul, what kind of box do you want to open? And now we have the one open, like, okay, we set one like Pandora box, Pandora box.
Pandora box.
Or can anyone give me a type of box you like? Anyone?
Pizza box?
What?
Pizza box?
Pizza box.
Okay, then you can enter that.
Okay.
And now the user may say Pandora box or pizza box. Then you create two user sets too.
Sure.
Yeah. The first one will be Pandora box.
Okay. It's about to. We can keep going.
Okay.
Should I connect them?
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
please. And now, when user says Pandora box, we're gonna give them a response. Now let's just say, okay, because you opened the Pandora box, we just say, you're dead, you wanna try again?
Okay, so
That will be a response. Create response.
response.
No, just a response.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. You're dead. Try again.
Okay.
Okay, then you can connect it to the user access.
Okay.
And then because we asked try again, so we can that the user answer yes or no. So can you create a yes or no right here?
Okay.
And because we're gonna do the same for the pizza box, now you can see we have 3 predefined conversation components. So you can just click down yes no questions,
Oh.
and then you can create
Oh, that's
that.
easier.
Yeah. So like anyone can give me the response for the pizza box.
What
Anyone?
would happen after you open it?
Yeah.
Eat the pizza.
What?
So do you want to eat the
Do
pizza?
you want to eat the pizza?
Are you really sure you want to?
Okay.
Yes. And then, because now we don't need the yes no, so we're gonna delete that.
Okay.
And then delete.
Okay.
Okay. It's redundant, so we just connect the response to the yes no right here. And can you connect pizza box and the response?
Yes.
Okay. Now we don't have the response for no. So let's just say you don't want to try, so boo, coward. Right? So we're gonna create a response for no.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, and if you're bold enough, yeah, if you're bold enough, we can, when you say yes, we're gonna let you try again. So can you connect yes back to the question?
Okay.
Okay, now we create a simple conversation flow. Now when I sync it to API, can you click on that button? It refreshed means it successfully synced to the API.ai. And right now, because it's just backend, if you want to create a simple Android project, you can click on the button there to download the Android project. It's a simple project that keeps you started. So that when you finish this conversation flow, you can just using the app to deploy the app to the server, to the device here.
Okay.
To save the time, we just install that here. Now I'm
Okay.
gonna try it right now.
Let's try the app
Try
that
the-
we just made.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, just.
Okay. I want to open a treasure box.
Oh, wait. Oh, sorry, it's not this one.
use our backup.
Backup plan.
Okay, so we made it just in case backup that's similar, just in case something like this happens. Okay. I want to open a treasure box.
Okay, brave soul, what kind of box do you want? Pandora box or candy box?
Pandora box?
You are dead, try again.
Yes.
Okay, brave soul, what kind of box do you want? Pandora box or candy box?
Candy box.
Mars bar, try again.
No.
Boo, coward, bye.
So that's our app.
Yeah.
Okay. Now since we're running kind of out of time, let me just
Go back to right here.
Okay. How too many things to show here?
The second one.
Okay, so just really quickly, there's a lot of future work for us to do. As we said, voice UI is a new thing, and we are gonna continue this project after the end of the final project. We're actually thinking about contacting the API.ai technology that we've been using and see if they would like to use our front end to make their user experience more user-friendly. If not, we're going to open source it so other people can still use it. On the design side, we'll try to handle more robust error prevention and error handling. Okay, special thanks, this is important. There are so many people that have helped us along the way. You know, like the two of us, there's a lot of stuff to do. So special thanks to John Tron, our advisor, and Guy who helped us write the awesome code part with Pitan, and Safik helping with design, and Toshio Nishimura just being awesome in general. There are also a lot of other people that we want to thank. Steve Bain is here. Thank you so much for your support with tech research. And finally, and most importantly, I want to thank our families. You're awesome. 1, 2, 3. 爸爸妈妈，谢谢你们。We open up the floor for questions.
Great, so thanks, guys. First, what we're going to do here is have questions from the judges first, and then open it up to the rest of the floor. So, if the judges have any questions?
I have one.
Yes.
So a development question. So if you were actually going to build this, like my understanding from your presentation is that whatever app you're trying to supply to the blind users would need an API, right, for you to actually understand the data. So in that, like, would the API need to actually understand the concept of conversation, or are you saying that that you could create a conversation concept on top of the data that the API provides?
Yes, the latter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So you don't need to know anything that's going on in the API.ai backend, as we showed. Like, you just, as a designer, for example, you want to make a quick functional prototype, you just use our drag and drop interface. You don't need to do anything with the API.ai. You don't need to understand the logic. So it's intuitive. What you see on the diagram is what you hear.
And I have a follow-on question with respect to that. See, there are thousands of apps and potentially thousands of conversations that are possible with each of those apps. So is it as simple as modeling a conversation using your UI and feeding that to API.ai and suddenly magically it interfaces with the app that you're interested in? I mean, how applicable is it widely? Is my question.
Okay, yeah, so the development tool, we're thinking for people who want to develop their new voice UI applications. So it's like the same as developing a graphical app where you would do the drag and drop and everything together. Are you thinking about more like combining the voice UI with an existing application?
Right, an application has the existing graphical user interface, like you showed with Uber, for example. And now you're trying to build in a voice-enabled interface. So is it as simple as me modeling the interface and handing that off to API.ui and magically that in turn interfaces with the app, or is there more work?
It's basically just mocking it, handing it to API.ai, and then it creates a voice agent for you where it's an API. Then your front-end Android app would call the API whenever you get a voice command from the user.
Nice, good, okay.
Yeah. So it's very versatile. You can do whatever with it. But you only need to do the front-end part. The back-end is done by us.
Yes, I have a question for you too. This is stepping away from the technical and thinking more about your initial research. Obviously, you just scoped this project a little bit to make it manageable in the first semester. I'm curious about how you selected the tasks by which you were going to evaluate what you did.
So the tasks are basically we wanted to test both, but because of time, we kind of had to prioritize one. So we chose the voice over one, and it kind of just like naturally split to these different stages where they would enter their information and then choose a driver, and after you request it, give you where the car is at this point. So we kind of just like pick the tasks based on the chronological order. And the two tasks inserted in the middle that has a voice UI and a gesture control, that's to like life happened to us. So we had to like accommodate testing some of the features from the Orbitz app. In that app, there are a lot of imaginaries, like a list of airplane ticket results, and the user would somehow use voice to scroll through that. And we designed either to scroll with her screen left and right slide, or to say next, previous, select with voice. So we wanted to test like which version of that task is more intuitive to the users, and we kind of made a Uber-ish version of that. So that's how we came up with the tasks.
Okay, great. I think we're out of time for more questions. So if you want to follow up with them, see them afterwards.
Just come to us.
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to be downstairs in the collab hanging out for a while, so if you have more questions or just want to try out the app, just find us in the collab.
Great, thanks guys.